You may start.
Make sure your mic's on.
I don't want much to I don't like the pledge.
Oh, I'll turn you off.
I don't want to cooperate.
Okay, we're calling the meeting to order this evening. Invocation will be given by Reverend Scott Moore.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Let's pray together. Heavenly Father, we give thanks today for each member of this council, for the city staff and employees who serve faithfully behind the scenes, and for every civically minded person in the room who cares deeply enough to show up, listen, and to engage in the process of keeping Broken Arrow a great place to live. As we begin this meeting, we pause to acknowledge the power of our words. You remind us in Scripture that through the tongue, great things can be set in motion or things can be destroyed. So we ask for the wisdom that is humble and peace-loving to help each person here speak with clarity, integrity, and compassion and kindness. May our conversations be marked not by ambition or division, but by shared desires to serve the city with grace and unity. Keep us mindful that every decision, every debate, and every word spoken here carries weight, impacting lives beyond this room. With this in mind, we ask that you guide and lead the discussions of our agenda so that all may benefit from the decisions made here today. We ask this in the wonderful name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much. Okay, we'll have a roll call vote, please.
Pickle.
Here.
Green.
Here.
Ford.
Here.
Parks.
Yes.
Wimpy.
Here. Okay, if you will join Justin Green as in the Pledge of Allegiance, appreciate it.
Attention, salute, pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Justin. Okay, consideration of the consent agenda. Is there anything that needs to be pulled off the consent agenda this evening?
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
I'll second that motion.
A motion and second? So be sure and tell the mayor we moved right on through so far. There were no items removed from the consent agenda, so we're going to move on to item 7, public hearings, appeals, presentations, and recognitions and awards. 7A, recognition of Visit Broken Arrow for winning 2 Oklahoma Tourism Redbud Awards. Michaela Barton. Well, there's 2 coming, so I was wondering.
Good evening. I'm Michaela Barton, Tourism Manager, and with me is Erin Hoffner. She's the Marketing and Communications Coordinator. So we just wanted to come tonight and say thank you all so much for the support of the Tourism Department, and tell you, you probably have already heard, but this was back in June at the annual Oklahoma Tourism Conference. We were awarded 2 awards, 2 marketing-specific awards. I'm going to read it because I can never remember exactly, but we won the Merit Award for Outstanding Media Coverage for Christmas in Broken Arrow, and also a Merit Award for the Best Marketing Campaign, small budget, for our work with the Bullseye campaign. So we were very excited about that, as you can imagine. Erin brought them to show the proof.
Nice.
But we just wanted to say thank you for your support of the Tourism Department, and yeah, we're very excited about that this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We need to take your pictures with those.
Yes, we
Okay,
have.
come
yeah.
around and turn
Oh.
around. So I can see.
How about, let's go down there and get our
We'll all
picture.
go. Hey, we
all
have
go
our
down.
pictures
All
taken at
by
the
themselves.
airport too.
Before everybody's coming down, I'll just say thank you to you all and your teams for the hard work and dedication that you put in to support the city and to make us look good. We appreciate all that you all do for us.
Thank you.
Come down, Mr. Sprague. Mr. Sprague's coming down.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic.
Just one more reason why Broken Arrow is the best place to live in the state of Oklahoma.
That's right. Here.
Right.
That's right.
Okay. That's just a presentation. We don't need to vote on that, correct?
7B.
Okay, the 7B, presentation of post-event update for the 2025 Rooster Days Festival. Michaela, again.
Okay, so Michaela Barton, Tourism Manager. I am just here to introduce Tiffany Shepard with the Broken Arrow Chamber. She's here tonight to give us a recap of the 2025 Rooster Days Festival. As you all know, we've supported Rooster Days for many, many years. The city contributes currently $20,000 from Visit Broken Arrow funds every year, and so part of that request is that they just come and tell us how it goes. So Tiffany is here. Thank you.
I'm here to tell you how it went. City Manager, Vice Mayor, City Councilors, it's a pleasure to be here tonight. Like Michaela said, I'm giving you an overview of the 2025 Rooster Days Festival as we partner with the city and receive funding towards our marketing initiatives through Visit BA. So I'll breeze through some of this pretty quickly, but some general event statistics I'll start with. One we're really excited about. So we saw a little over 41,000 people come through the festival this year, which internally we set a goal to get it over 40,000. So that was really exciting for our team to finally see that number after the last couple of years. But strong entertainment lineup, some of the same things, vendors, strong parade, and we actually had a very successful run this year, some of the highest participation that we've seen in the last couple of years. And then we'll move on to some marketing statistics. I do want to give a quick thank you and shout out to my team. They're sitting behind me, but I really challenged them to think outside of the box this year when it came to our marketing strategy and how we wanted to push the festival out to the general public. And one component that resulted from this was our social media campaign. So we actually partnered with 3 different social media influencers this year. All 3 of them had a different presence on how they manage their pages, their demographics, their viewers. They all had a different segment that we were able to kind of tie into. So that was very successful, and we were really pleased with the total engagements and just views in general that we got from that campaign. But like I said, that really stemmed from the team just sitting down and trying to think, what can we do differently? That being said, we did still have our traditional marketing with Griffin Communications. So we partner with them every year. We have radio spots, we record commercials. Those begin in February, and then they basically stream through the duration of the festival. We're featured on their event calendar on their web pages as well, and then they'll give us shout outs on their social media as well. So that was great. We also had promotional posters this year. We've done these the last couple of years. Lindsay puts these together and she does a great job. And then our staff at the chamber and our chamber ambassadors actually partner to distribute these to businesses around BA. You'll probably see them in windows up and down Main Street. So we've started doing that, and we're going to continue with that as well. And then this next one isn't necessarily, this one doesn't have a slide. This is just an input here. It's not really tied to funding, but we did something really fun this year for Rooster Days. So Lindsay actually created a book all about Rooster Days, about the history, kind of where it came from, and it made it kid-friendly. So we partnered with Broken Arrow Public Schools, and we visited 3 different elementary schools and saw multiple classes at each of those elementary schools. Roscoe came with us, and then we had guest readers. I know the mayor came with us to a couple of them. James came to a couple. Our presenting sponsor came to one. And then we got to read these books to the kids. And then I shamelessly left stickers for all the kids that said, "Take me to Rooster Days," with the dates on them. Because as a mom with 2 elementary kids, I know that one thing I'm not going to forget is what my kids remind me of 27 times. So that was fun for us to do, and we'll probably continue that and grow that program as well. But that was just a fun little book. And then moving on, we are confirmed for May of 2026. So the festival will be back the 14th through the 17th. So save the date. And just a general thank you again to the city. We couldn't do it without your guys' support and partnership. And the funding from Visit Broken Arrow really allows us to do this fun stuff to get the word out about the festival. That's what I have for you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I love that book. That's,
Yeah,
that's,
that book,
that's about
yeah, I
my
think-
speed. It's got pictures in it and
I
everything.
know.
I might
Yeah,
read
that's
that
super
one.
cute.
pretty good.
Yeah,
It's
thanks for sharing it.
Some nightly reading for you.
You should have handed them out after the presentation, so that
We're gonna be,
looking at
we're gonna
during
be
the
reading it while, yeah.
Like, oh, you're talking? Oh.
yeah.
Well, thank you guys. Do you have any questions?
Any
or anything?
questions?
No, I felt like it was very successful too. Ross and I volunteered for the back gate, and we had a lot of fun. And we did see the influencers out there too, and they were, I mean, that was a nice addition, I feel like too.
Yeah,
So.
I think it made a huge impact. It just helps get visibility out there, which is really nice. It's always crazy. We still talk to people all the time. They're like, I didn't even know that was happening. It's Oklahoma's longest running festival. Shamelessly plug that anytime we can.
Yeah, it was fun.
You all
Yeah.
did an amazing job.
Thank you. Thank you very
Absolutely,
much.
Tiffany.
Yeah, thank you
Good
guys.
job. Thank you. And again, that is a presentation. We don't need any vote on that. Item C, 7C, presentation of the results of the Public Safety Micro Survey. Aaron.
Good evening, Vice Mayor, councilors, Mr. Spurgeon. I don't have a booklet for you like Lindsay or Tiffany brought up here, so I feel just a little bit inadequate. Thank you so much for that.
He wanted our total attention. He didn't want us to be distracted.
That's right. But happy to present the results of the public safety survey that we put on in June. This went for 3 weeks, 5 questions. We received 2,210 responses with that. So with it, let's get to that first question. So we asked the folks to rate the quality of each of these services: police, fire, ambulance, 911 dispatch, and emergency preparedness. They were able to rate them on 5 different points, and that was excellent, good, fair, poor, don't know. For the purposes of this presentation, I went ahead and combined excellent or good because those are positive type results. And what you can see there is the numbers as far as the excellent or good, the positive results, were very comparable to the 2024 comprehensive survey that we put out to the public. So they've maintained their status as far as how the public feels about our public safety services.
I'm wondering on the emergency preparedness, I wonder if that's as much of what the city does to prepare for an emergency, or is it what they do to prepare for an emergency? Like, maybe how they may have thought.
As far as how the citizens perceive that, that's a
Yeah.
good question.
Yeah.
And perhaps that's one of the reasons why your don't know response was so high there, is that perhaps they didn't know. So. Fire trucks and ambulances. So we asked about the importance of including these vehicles on the bond, acquiring and equipping them. And what you can see here is the top 2 were about 81%, essential, very important. Somewhat important, which is, it's important to a degree, somewhat. 15% and not at all important was at 4%. The outdoor warning sirens, so this was looking at more sirens, more locations. 83% felt that that was important, at least very important. 14% thought it was important to a degree, and then 4% thought it was not important at all. And if I go too quickly through this, please stop me. Animal shelter expansion, we asked about the importance of including this in the bond. If you remember, this opened in 2011. However, since that time, we've grown about 23,000 in population. So there is possibly a need for this. Very important and essential, got about 70% of the vote. 22% thought it was somewhat important, and 8% said not important at all. Then we asked about the public safety training campus. This is from the master plan that you accepted, I think it was last year, late last year. We asked about 8 different amenities, features, if you will, that are on that public safety training campus master plan. And what I did here is I put these in order as far as the highest percentage of essential and very important. And so what you can see is the new burn buildings came in at 72%. Yeah, 72%. Sorry, I'm struggling with the math there. The new training streetscape was at 69%. They all stayed above 60 with the exception of the new indoor firing range, and that was just under 60% at 58. So that is the end of this, but I will tell you that the results will be on the city website tomorrow morning. I did want to remind folks that the survey that we have out in the field right now about the South Broken Arrow Library is still going strong. I just checked right before, and it has eclipsed 2,500 results so far, and it still has about another 2 weeks left. That'll go through August 18th. I'm then excited to tell you about this, that we're setting the standard for these surveys. Last month, I met with our new account executive for Polco. This is the company that we use to help us with these surveys. And he was really excited to meet with me, and I didn't understand, so why? And he said, we use Broken Arrow as the litmus for every other municipality that we have. He said the results that we get are really setting the standard for them. And so I actually sent them our campaigns and different things and what we use. And he said it was really fantastic to see what it is that we're doing. They're blown away by each and every survey that we do. So I think that's a true testament to the people of Broken Arrow and being engaged and involved and wanting to have a voice in what it is that we do.
How many did you say filled out the one for public safety?
2,210.
Okay. It's kind of interesting that there's less for public safety and more for the library. I mean, I feel like that's showing that they feel things are fine.
Absolutely.
I mean, is the way I look at it.
That's the way I
You're
perceive
right,
it too.
Counselor.
Yeah.
That's how I read it, number one, is that being a safe city is ingrained into Broken Arrow. And with the things that the chiefs are doing and the communications we're putting out there, I think that people are seeing more and more. And I think we're going to see even more of the things that we're doing, which I think creates a sense of trust. I was very happy with the numbers we got for the training in the 60s and 70s, because this is the first time we've ever really, that type of collective to look at that type of improvements. And to see the high 60s and 70% either in one or top two categories, I think that bodes well for the council looking at and feeling comfortable that whatever ends up in there is going to be supported in proposition number 2.
Happy to answer any other questions you may have.
Any other questions?
I just echo what they said. I think here in Broken Arrow, it's great that we have such an involved citizenry, and that they think so highly of our public safety, from police to fire to emergency services. We have excellent leadership here in the city, and that's just a testament to their leadership and what they can do here in the city.
I will say this, as followed by the council member, is that when we get into the public education phase, we're going to have to video showing what type of improvements are going to be out at the training center so people can visualize that, because I think if we would have spent some extra time and visualized some of those improvements, those numbers would have been much higher. Because there are certain things that both the fire and the police need that really need to be moved up into consideration for Prop 2.
And just an understanding of why those things need to be there.
Yeah.
Well, and I see that what's happened in these, certainly I appreciate them, Aaron, these surveys that you're producing here and bringing forth to us. It gives us a real picture of kind of what's in the community, as a whole. You've done a good job of reaching out to everybody in the community, and the people in the community need to know that, especially I particularly, really look at those, and I think the whole council looks at them as far as feedback as what we need to, how we need to vote, what we need to do, what's important. And so that's a good job. I was looking at even the last one that we had there, the public safety one, you know what I mean, along with that. That's good information to have. And you put the top two, you know what I mean, together, because it's not much difference between those. So I think it's certainly good for the community, and it's good for the council to look at this.
Well, thank you for those compliments, Vice Mayor. I appreciate that. It is definitely a team effort. And whenever we put these together, it's one of those that I work with the directors for the departments that are impacted by these surveys. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. These surveys are so important to be able to get the temperature of the community and for them to be able to be involved in this process that's really so incredibly important that we're going to be heading into in 2026.
All right, good. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. Great job.
Okay, the next item, this was a presentation. The next item is item E, Is that correct?
At
D is in
D.
David.
That's what I meant, D.
At-
Presentation regarding the update of the Broken Arrow Micro Transit Program, which I get a lot of questions about.
Good evening, Vice Mayor, members of council, Mr. Spurgeon, Rocky Hinkle, Community Development Director. Broken Arrow Microtransit is an on-demand curb-to-curb public transportation program. The city of Broken Arrow launched this program in partnership with MetroLink, formerly Tulsa Transit, on March 18th, 2024. If you remember back in September of last year, we gave you a presentation on Phase 1, and then we told you about what we're implementing in Phase 2, which was we expanded the area in October, and then in December, we expanded the hours Monday through Friday. So the hours that it operates under currently is Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. So I want to give you a little bit of stats over that time frame. From February of this year to end of July, there were 4,575 riders on an average of 183 passengers per week. If you remember back in September, the presentation we gave you, the old 508 Tulsa bus transit route was averaging 170 passengers a month. So that's a 449% increase from the 508 transit. We too are in the business of doing surveys, so we put out a 2-question survey. And that survey was whether or not our residents wanted to expand the hours into the weekend and what those hours would be. The options were Saturday and Sunday from 8 to 12, 10 to 2, and 12 to 4. Majority of the respondents, 49% of them, chose 10 to 2, Saturday and Sunday. I should mention there was 1,178 respondents to the survey. And then the second part was expanding the area. And up here were the 3 areas. Area 1 had 18%, Area 2, 29%, and the majority, 53%, chose Area 3. So as we move forward to implement Phase 3 of the pilot program, we have run into a little bit of a roadblock to implement the expanded area and the hours of operation on the weekend. Tulsa Transit does not have enough drivers to provide us. So I am working with Human Resources on finding a solution, whether that be internal staff to complete this pilot program or hiring temporary employees to fulfill that, to collect data for this program. But overall, I think you can see how much of a success it has been from Phase 1 to Phase 2 and now to Phase 3. The one thing that we don't want to do is implement something permanently that we can't fund or operate long-term.
That's wisdom.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Do you need anything from the council, Rocky?
No, right now, unless you have any other recommendations other than what the survey.
Do you have any
Sure.
extra time to drive? No, we know you stay busy with all that you do, and we appreciate it.
I could find time if you want me to, sir.
Give us an example of a person going from one place to the other. It has to be within that quadrant,
So it
right?
has to be within the service area here. So you may have a citizen that has a doctor's appointment and their vehicle may be in the shop and they don't have a vehicle for that day. So they would call this on-demand service. They would pick them up at their house, take them to their doctor's appointment, and then they would schedule another ride from the doctor's appointment back to their house.
Do they have to have a card for this to start with?
There is a card, yes. You have to sign up for a card.
So they have to get the card
Yep.
first, is that
And
correct?
so children or kids or people, adults, I guess, I don't know what you call them, 18 and younger are free. And then senior citizens, 70,
Minors.
minors. 70 and above are free, veterans are free as well.
How do they get a card?
So they can come here to City Hall and we can help them fill out the application and get the card through MetroLink.
Okay.
What was that number again, Rocky, at the beginning, the time frame? Was it 4,000?
The 4,575 from February of this year to July.
Okay, thank you.
And I will mention that one of those weeks, it did not operate because of the weather in February.
Okay, any other questions?
Well, I just really have a statement. I mean, I think we all knew that the way we had it before we started this program was not working. I mean, people weren't using it. It wasn't really, you couldn't rely on it. And I'm really happy that this has been as successful as it is. So it doesn't surprise me, but 400%, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
that's-
really good.
Okay.
So council's good with expanding the hours on the weekends between 10 and 2?
Yes, and I kind of like the idea of having city employees actually too being drivers, because we have a little more control over the friendliness and the,
Well, that will be the first option just from a public service standpoint, and they know their way around the city.
yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
We'll get an update to the council members once we finish our communications with HR.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rocky.
Thank you, Mr. Tree.
Appreciate it. Next up is the city manager on the general obligation bond package.
Thank you, Vice Mayor, members of council. Good evening. Just three things I want to mention about the bond package. The first and most important administratively is that the staff continues to actually review the potential projects that will ultimately come before the council. As Charlie said on June 18th, from that date now, we're actually looking at refining the estimates. We're looking, trying to drill down to make sure that the numbers that we have are the most accurate for the council members, considering obviously we have a limited amount of money, as we want to make sure that we have really good numbers and the time value on some of those projects, because not everything can be done in 1 year. Also, the steering committee continues to wrap up their review and recommendations, and at some point you'll hear from them. There may be some steering committee meeting members at the public forums. We've asked them to actually attend. And the final thing I want to mention was the public forums. We're going to have 3 public forums, one later this month on the 28th, and then we will have 2 in September, the September 3rd and September 25th. And those are going to be open to the public. Aaron's team is going to do an amazing job of actually communicating to our citizens. The letter that'll be going out into utility billings this month will also include those dates and locations and times. Everyone is welcome. They can come to all 3. They just don't have to come to one. And then obviously there's going to be ways for the folks to go in and actually provide feedback on the projects they would like to see. And so everything's moving towards those 3 meetings and getting into that next phase. And so that's what I wanted to share. So I'll repeat the same thing again on the 19th, and then we'll be ready to go on the 28th of this month for the first meeting, and then 2 in September.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Michael. Okay, next item is a citizen's opportunity to address the council, and no one has signed up, so you're out of luck. Number 9, general council business. 9A, consideration, discussion, and possible direction to the administration relative to nominating a city councilor or an appointed designee to the Broken Arrow Community Playhouse Board. Matt Hendren. Matt?
Good evening, Vice Mayor, council members. Mr. Spurgeon, I'm Matt Hendren, Parks and Recreation Director. So like the Vice Mayor said, this item is for your consideration and discussion, a possible appointment for a council member to serve on the board of the Broken Arrow Community Playhouse.
Well, I would like to nominate Counselor Pickle to be on this board.
Thank you. I'll take that.
Yes, I think you would be a great fit. I was actually at the airport last week and ran into one of the board members. They're like, "We don't have a city councilor on our board," and I'm like, "I bet we can fix that." I bet they didn't know it was going to be so quick, though, so that was good. So, and that's why I said, I think Counselor Pickle would be a great pick.
He
So.
is very dramatic, so.
I'm a big deal.
So that would be Counselor Pickle would be my recommendation.
No, if you're up for that, I'll second it.
I'm up for it, you bet. Be my pleasure.
Okay, well,
Do we know what that board, what the attendance and the meetings would look like?
I
for a
don't,
counselor on that?
but I'll reach out to him tomorrow and we'll get all those details. I'll make sure we
Perfect.
communicate that with you.
Thank you.
Yep,
we have
absolutely.
a motion and a
Second.
have a roll call vote. And we have it. You made it.
Congratulations, David.
Can even
I
be
think it
more
was your
dramatic.
speech. Your speech is what did it.
Yeah, it was very moving.
9B, consideration, discussion, and possible approval of the authorization to execute resolution number 1680, a resolution of the Broken Arrow City Council approving fiscal year 2026 manual of fees, establishing fees, costs charged by the city of Broken Arrow, authorizing periodic adjustment and waiver of fees by the city manager, providing an effective date of October the 1st. And this is something that we've done, for several years. I think COVID kind of threw it off for just a little bit, is that we go and look at our utilities. I'm not saying, didn't say water bill. Look at our utility bills and see if we're able to meet the financial part of providing those for the community. So, Cindy?
I'm going to keep this brief. We did meet on July 14th and had a public workshop. correct. Manual fees are adopted every year, October 1st. But we like to review them early so that we can include them in the budget. Costs are adjusted by consumer price index, like for the cemetery. Actually, the consumer price index was a little higher than when we chose to. I think it was like almost 5%. So that is a large jump. So staff recommended to 2.5% for the cemetery. And the rate study was done for utilities, and that's done by an outside consultant called Black & Veatch. Community development, some of the permit fees that went up 3% were like the building, trade. Most all the fees went up 3%. They haven't been raised too much in the last few years. The one fees that did not get increased was anything that fall under the ABLE Commission. Those are state set by state statute. So, and we are pretty much tickling what they said. We looked at those a couple of years ago, and they mimic the state. And cemetery fees, as I said, went up 2.5%, and Battle Creek had a small increase across the board on the fees, depending on what, if it was a family package or single or yearly. Current charges on the utility bill is water, wastewater, stormwater, solid waste and recycling, life ride, and street lights. That's right, it's the utility bill, it's not just the water bill. Based on a rate study that was done by Black & Veatch, 4 of the utilities will have an increase, which will be water, sewer, stormwater, and solid waste and recycling. The average increase equals 9.7%, or $12.69 for a user of 7,000 gallons per month. At our July 14th, we showed this current rate and the proposed rate. Emily did a great job doing this. It shows where exactly the increase will be. The reason for the need to increase the rates, the tipping fees went up 97%. Recycling fees are up 79%. Lab services, electric, everything is going up across the board. And we just need the rate increase to stay with cost. And that's all I have. And staff recommends approving Resolution 1680, the resolution of the Broken Arrow City Council approving the fiscal year 2026 manual of fees.
Anybody have questions?
I don't have a question, but I do have a comment, just like to share. As Cindy mentioned, that we, as a council, as a staff, we have reviewed this manual of fees because we take this very seriously. Obviously, we want to take everything in consideration, the impact it's going to have on our citizens, the impact it's going to have on the city. We looked at and discussed multiple options for different ways that we could do this, and what needed to be done versus what we could do, etc. And I think that I appreciate all the hard work done by our finance team and Mr. Spurgeon and the staff and the council. I know we've had special meetings and other meetings about utilities, and I've discussed this a lot. And I think what's being presented tonight is what is necessary to keep the city operating and moving forward, and to continue the quality of life and the standard that our citizens expect. This is what's needed in order to do that. So I appreciate your hard work on this.
Thank you. And I want to thank engineering and Emily for doing on the July 14th. They did a great job for that presentation, for the comparisons.
I would echo what you say, Councilor Green. I just want our citizens to know we don't take this lightly. We've put a lot of time and effort, staff and council, into trying to keep the rates as low as possible, but still make our bills that we have to pay, just like how everything went up so much. And, you know, it does cost money to have the quality of life that we have, you know, to have our own water system. That's expensive. But we don't have to rely on anybody else for that. And so, you know, I don't think people think about that until they may live in a city that they do rely on another city for the water. And then they're like, oh, why don't we have our water? Well, it's because it's expensive. So I think the quality of life that we give our citizens is worth the money that we have to pay. And we have to pay too. We don't get our utilities for free either. So we'll be paying the same thing as everyone else does. So.
Yeah, I would just echo just in your slides, Cindy, that you had where it does show the increases. I mean, 97% increase in tipping fees, I think it was 91, 97, something like that. When you see increases like that, then unfortunately action has to be taken. But it's because of the quality of life that we have in Broken Arrow. We do take it very seriously, for sure.
Well, and I'll echo what all's been said and add a little bit that you know, we need to monitor these, keep monitoring these just to protect the health and welfare, you know, of the community. We've got one of the best water systems in the state, with some of the poor water in the state. You know, water is coming in, we really have to work with it to make it good quality water. So it is good water, and it's safe water, you know, to drink. Sewer system, you know, so much bacteria, if the sewer system's not working right or whatever, the bacteria gets out around other people, and so it's for the safety of them. So we look at a lot of things. We hated to raise the rates, but we had to do it. Either that or cut something out. You know, you take the water bill part of of this particular thing. It all goes to the water. It goes to the water department. It goes for whatever the expense was, the overhead, the manpower, the testing. Day after day, they test our water system to make sure it's safe for a city of our size. So another thing that we asked for and we got is comparable to other cities. So the city provided us a sheet comparable to other cities just like size of Broken Arrow in Oklahoma, size of Broken Arrow in Texas, size of Broken Arrow in Arkansas. And we're right there with them. So it's not like ours is higher than anybody, but it's not lower than everybody else's. But they're all right there together. They're trying their best to provide a safe environment. And these things help us provide a safe environment. So I'm excited about it. I don't think it's much, but it is in today's economy. Maybe, you know, seems like a lot, but it does provide safety for our families. And I think that's what we have to look at.
And the $12.69 was based on 7,000 gallons per month.
7,000 gallons a month, right?
Is that an average household?
Mother, father, a couple kids, yeah.
Vice Mayor.
Go.
I want to thank the council members for spending so much diligence into this, and I believe it's my responsibility to ask you, and I make a recommendation that you approve the study. I mean, the staff was challenged, and they were put to the task of trying to make sure that the increase that we presented to you reflected what was in the Black and Beach study, but as well as was justifiable based on what we need to provide great services to our citizens, and that's what you have before you. So while I'm very conscious of what the total is, which is an increase, I feel very proud that that's what we're doing, is covering the cost to provide great services, and I would ask for your consideration for approving it.
Okay, anybody, any other thing else? Okay, we're ready for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
And these rates do not go into effect till October 1, so people won't see on their utility bill until probably the middle of November.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Item 9C, consideration, discussion, and possible approval of authorization to execute Amendment 2, a professional consultant agreement with Jacobs Engineering Group Incorporated for the design and planning of the 2026 general obligation bond. Charlie Bright, he's already there.
Yes. Good evening, Vice Mayor, council members, Mr. Spurgeon. My name is Charlie Bright, Director of Engineering and Construction. Before you tonight is the second amendment with the Jacobs. Their consultant that we're using, as Mr. Spurgeon's already given the update tonight on the bond planning. They're the consultant that's been helping us through the process, all the man hours, the books that we've seen, the project estimates that we've seen, all that. The first contract we did with them was last fiscal year, and it was to cover that first high-level look at all the projects we had in. And as we said, I think we're narrowing it down, getting closer to what we think the actual bond amount will eventually be, but they started with, you know, I think we in the $1.2 to $1.4 billion worth of projects, and they looked at them all for us at a very high level. And now we've whittled it down. They've kind of exhausted their scope with that first contract. This next set of contract is to them finish up the time with all the more detailed cost estimates for the final projects that we're going to get to, along with some of the exhibits and stuff that Mr. Spurgeon was talking about. They're putting together the 3D renderings, floor plans, all those kind of things that we're going to use for bond advertising. So we're recommending amendment number 2. Happy to answer any questions you guys have.
You know, I know they give us an estimate on some of the things, especially some of our groups that they wanted. Are they the ones to do the final architectural rendering, or is that another company that will have do those?
So no, they're doing initial conceptual renderings of everything for marketing materials, so to speak.
Okay.
But if and when the bond were to be approved next year, we'll hire individual consultants to do floor plans, layouts, and all that with the final design. They're just giving us conceptual renderings based on the tentative size that we think each building will be.
Okay. I thought that's what it was last time.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask, make sure.
And I think it's a great point for you, for this body and the public as a whole. Like, the images that we're going to show are going to be conceptual in nature, you know, and the final product might not look like the images that we show. We're going to come up with concepts, and then, you know, because we're not wanting to spend too much money of taxpayer dollars if they're not going to get approved ultimately. But if it gets approved, we'll get into more detailed design, and we'll figure out exactly what it's going to look like.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve 25-1037.
I'll second it.
Thank you all.
You didn't know I could do that, did you? Item D. Consideration, discussion, and possible approval of authorization to award to the lowest responsible bidder, Cherokee Pride Construction Incorporated, a construction contract for the residential street asphalt repair and resurfacing College Edition Phase 1, project number ST 24170, and Travis Small. I knew you was going to be there.
Good evening, Vice Mayor, Council, City Manager. Sorry for the long title, but I'm happy to be here tonight to present this project for possible award tonight. A few years ago, the city was awarded federal CDBG funds, Community Development Block Grant funds, for a roadway project in the vicinity of downtown. It's on Freeport from Main to 5th, and several other blocks of streets that are adjacent to that. The city worked with a consulting firm to come up with some design plans, and we put those out to bid in early July. July 29th, we opened bids, receiving 3 total bids. The apparent low bidder was Cherokee Pride with a total bid of approximately $574,000. It's actually $573,292. The total engineer's estimate was $643,634.00. Staff would like to recommend this project for possible award, and I'll take any questions if you have any.
Fellow councilors have any questions?
I'll make a motion that we approve 25-1038.
I'm not making the decision. Yes, sir.
I'll second that motion.
Whoops, sorry.
We have a motion and a second. And we're going to vote right now, and we have. Thank you very much. Item E, consideration, discussion, and possible approval of BAZ 002238-2025, rezoning Harvest Church, approximately 6.45 acres, A1 agriculture, to CG, located in the northwest corner of New Orleans Street, 101st, and 9th Street, Lynn Lane. Rocky Hinkle.
Good evening again, Vice Mayor, members of council, Mr. Spurgeon, Rocky Hinkle, Community Development Director. BAZ 2238-2025 is a request to rezone approximately 6.45 acres from A1 agricultural to CG commercial general for Harvest Church, a proposed commercial development with future place of assembly planned. This property is located at the northwest corner of New Orleans Street and 9th Street. The proposed development will have access both from New Orleans Street to the south and Lynn Lane Road to the east. This property is comprehensive plan level 4, which supports a rezoning to commercial general. Part of the property is planned to be used for Harvest Church, with the rest of the property being commercial development. A specific use permit for the place of assembly is expected to be submitted at a future date. During the meeting held on June 26, 2025, the Planning Commission recommended approval of 5-0 of BAZ 2238-2025 per staff recommendations. Staff recommended that be approved subject to plating. During the public comment period, 2 citizens signed up to speak and ask questions about the layout and development of the site. Staff recommends you approve BAZ 2238-2025, and I believe the property owner and their team is here to answer any questions you may have.
So once the citizens asked the questions at the planning commission, did they feel comfortable with the way the development was going to be?
I believe so, yes.
We do have one person that has asked to speak, but do y'all have any questions of Rocky or?
No, so let's hear the speaker
Okay.
first.
Okay, Cindy Starr. She says here to speak in favor, so we'll see if it's what she is.
Well, good evening, Vice Mayor, City Council, and Mr. Spurgeon. I've been a member of Harvest Church for 13 years, and I know the heart of my pastors, and we've been growing like crazy lately, and God has just put it on their heart. It's time to expand, and Harvest Church has always been a positive input into the city, always wanting to help the people when we're here, and I just want to encourage you to approve this change so that we can build and move on and continue to bless the city of Broken Arrow. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Questions now?
This applicant, I believe he's here, or they're here. Does he have anything he would like to
Would you
share
like
with
to speak
council as far as plans for the property?
For or against or however?
Well, I have been praying for you guys for the past 8-9 years, but no, I'm excited to expand the church and with the heart of blessing the city. We want to put some retail in, and I think that would, just help with the expression of just wanting to really bless the city of Broken Arrow. That's our heart. But we've been growing and growing and growing, and we've outgrown the facility we're in now. So we think this is a great spot for the church, and I think that the people would be happy if you passed it.
I can only imagine the quality that you're going to build because, what you have done with your current church and what, how you've remodeled it and it looks really nice. I'm just assuming it's going to be a very nice building that you'd like to build.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't have a question. I have a comment about the influence to the community. For several years now, they have hosted a monthly luncheon for, started out, and it still is, for the city of Broken Arrow, for the council, for the staff. They have special prayer for us during the lunch. We get food also, but the prayer is just really good. So they take time out, and I use that when I talk to other groups in other cities. They want to know what makes us so strong, and I use you and your church and what you do and gathering up other churches to be in prayer, because they, like me, know that's important.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you.
Next item is item F, 9F, consideration of approval of the fiscal year 25-27 collective bargaining agreement with the International Association of Firefighters, local number 2551, with Kelly Cox.
Good evening, Vice Mayor, City Council, Mr. Spurgeon, Kelly Cox, Human Resources Director. I'm here before you this evening to recommend approval of a collective bargaining agreement with the City of Broken Arrow and the International Association of Firefighters for a 2-year agreement this year. Before I go through the changes, I would like to express my gratitude to Mr. Spurgeon and Chief Moore for the support and ease of this process. Additionally, President Sharp is here, and also would like to express my gratitude towards them and his negotiating team for the ease of this. This, again, is a 2-year contract. I'll try to run through some of the changes, just highlight them because there's quite a few this year. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Again, this is a 2-year agreement, so this is effective July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2027. There's been some discussions on FMCS, or the Federal Mediation and Conciliation Services, that they may dissolve. So we have put in some language that we can choose an alternate if the FMCS is not available. We've added some management rights to union business that loops the chief into the approval process when the president or union steward wants to use time to investigate or process grievances. On the funeral leave article, we have provided the chief the ability to increase the number of vacation slots to accommodate the use of vacation leave for an extension of funeral leave. Hours and time exchange. Right now, a standard 40-hour work week can consist of 4 10-hour days, 5 8s. We're also adding language in to have that daily schedule up to 12 hours or 88 hours in a 2-week period. Additionally, there is no cap on trading shifts for the fire department currently. In 2026, on January the 1st, we are recommending a cap to be placed on the shift trades so that no employee can trade more than 360 hours or 15 shifts per year. On vacation and holidays, our current language allows for 7 employees to schedule vacation or holiday on each shift, with a restriction on the number of battalion chiefs, captains, and lieutenants being off. The new language modifies the limit of specific officer positions scheduling time off. Additionally, we are adding the Christmas Eve holiday to a paid holiday, and the vacation maximum accumulation for 40-hour employees is increasing as well. And then we have a vacation leave donation program for the city for non-union employees. We are also recommending that for the IAFF. So if somebody has a serious illness, or a member of their family has a serious illness, or has a catastrophe like a tornado or a flood, other employees can donate vacation leave to them. We are increasing insurance contributions effective July 1st, 2025 by 3% and effective July 1st, 2026 by 3%. We have a sick leave incentive provision within the contract right now. It is currently based on the number of days that are utilized. However, we are changing that to hours used instead of days. And then we're also adding language that it requires an employee to call into work and report that they're sick by 6:45 a.m. Overtime and callback. 24-hour employees who are called in for duty on a holiday receive compensation at 2 times their base hourly rate with a minimum of 2 hours. Language has been added to exclude exempt employees from being eligible to receive additional compensation for standby pay. We are also adjusting the battalion chiefs to be a non-exempt employee this year, effective on July the 1st, 2025. We are recommending a 4% wage increase for all of those personnel except for the rank of battalion chief. Because of that move to non-exempt status, they will receive some FLSA overtime, so we are recommending them to receive a 2% increase, and then we're also restructuring the pay scale a bit. Effective July 1st, 2026, an additional 4% increase for all employees across the board, another addition to some pay steps. And we are adding a new non-exempt grade 306 for a district chief to be effective July 1st, 2027, or upon opening Fire Station 8, whichever is earlier. And then if for any reason the FOP negotiates a higher rate, we would match that with a Me Too. There's also been several changes during the administrative operating procedures that are being changed. Many of them are being incorporated from previous MOUs that were agreed upon, and those are summarized as well for you. Happy to answer any questions, and I recommend approval.
So there was a lot to read and go over in this.
Yes, sir.
You know, and we obviously we do take our agendas and the things put before us very seriously and do read. No, I do. I believe that we all do read all these things in detail. So we appreciate all the hard work that went into this on all parties' behalfs because it's important. I think it's a testimony to again, leadership on all sides here and you all's ability to work together to come to an agreement, because this could have drug on and wind up in mediation and so on and so forth. So we appreciate the professionalism on all sides of this. So thank you guys for that, and I'm happy to motion to approve this if anybody else have any comments.
I'll second it.
I'd like to, my understanding is that Justin Sharp is in the audience.
Yes, sir, he
Justin,
sure is.
Are you here?
In the sharp OSU shirt back there?
Is there, Justin, it's kind of unusual, but is there any comments that you would like to make? Yeah. You know, there's already been a motion and second to approve it, so make it
I'm not going to mess that up. Thank you for allowing me a chance to come up here, Mr. Vice Mayor, Council, Mr. Spurgeon. Just echo what Ms. Cox said. We do appreciate the all parties involved, the professionalism this year, the ability to get to a deal in a timely fashion. I think, like any good negotiations, there's things both parties like and both parties don't like. So at the end of the day, the members supported it, and we appreciate you guys taking that up today.
We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I would add one item to add after the council's approved. I want to make one note.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We need to go ahead and vote. I need to vote. Sorry.
Vice Mayor, members of council, I just wanted to mention that it was recommended by the chief and the union president that to move forward, this agreement resolves the issue of Station 8, and as a result, I'm going to be recommending that we revise the proposed bond sale to include the funds needed to actually, we're very close to having finishing the design, and we have some estimates move forward with actually selling the bonds for this project this year, or making sure we have the funding needed to go out as quickly as possible to get the new station out to public bid. And so I should have an update from the chief by the end of this month when we might be able to go out to public bid.
That's good.
Just, this is from the 2018 bond,
Yes.
not the bond that's coming up.
Exactly.
Good.
And I always like to say my appreciation, so thank you for your support.
Thanks, Kelly.
Okay. Next item is item 25 it's item 9G, 25-1107. Some legal terms in there, but I'm just going to go with resolution number 1686 and let Trevor take over.
Thank you, Vice Mayor, Council, Mr. Spurgeon. Resolution number 1686 before you authorizes the City Legal Department to file a district court action seeking a district court order to abate a nuisance located at 21410 East 38th Street South. We have been through the abatement process. There has been a public hearing. There's been an order of abatement. It's not been obeyed. So the next step would be to take this to district court, get an order from the district court judge, and then we can summarily abate the nuisance at that point. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions? Okay, we have a motion.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, next item, item H. Let's go back, just resolution number 1687, and I'm going to turn it back over to Trevor.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Resolution number 1687 authorizes the city attorney's office to enter into a journal entry of judgment, basically foreclosing the right for the city to reopen a waterline easement that is no longer in use or needed or necessary for any of the utilities or for the city. This waterline easement is located 1/4 mile south of Tucson Street and 1/2 mile west of Elm Place. In fact, back in April, we had already closed the waterline easement, and we'd had our utilities department confirm that there's nothing in there that we currently require. So we ask permission and approval of resolution number 1687. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Next items are the preview ordinances. Item 10A. 10A is consideration, discussion, and possible preview of an ordinance amending Chapter 16, offenses miscellaneous, Article 3, offenses against property of the Broken Arrow Municipal Code to include the following sections. And I'm going to let Trevor look and tell us the sections.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Mr. Spurgeon had requested that the legal department, in conjunction with the police department, look at updating our code of ordinances to address the situation that we face where we have out-of-town owners of property, and that property may or may not be posted for trespassing or not. And the difficulty that we've had is we've had vagrants, for lack of a better term, or people who aren't really authorized to be on that property setting up encampments. And so the police department has had to track down the owners and then get authorization from them to trespass those that are trespassing on the property. And so that has been a time-consuming process. What this ordinance does is it streamlines that process. So it essentially requires that if you're going to go camping on that type of property, you have to have written permission from the property owner. And so that way the police department can ask for that. If the person who is there on the property does not have their written permission, the procedure is the police department would provide notice to the person that's located there, the requirement to have that written permission, and that if they don't, the written notice may be accompanied by information regarding the availability of medical treatment, mental health treatment, drug or alcohol addiction services, or general social services. If the person then disregards the notice and they still haven't gotten the written permission, they can then be cited and or arrested for trespass. The same holds true for public property. It makes it clear that there's no camping on City of Broken Arrow property. That could be waived by this body or by the city manager. And so this just clarifies and makes the procedure for trespass a little bit more streamlined. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
I'm glad to see this because I know when I worked at the police department, it is hard to track down the property owner, and a lot of times they don't know what's happening on their property. And I think this is a good one.
Thank you.
I'll motion to approve.
Most definitely, and I deal with trespass situations all the time in my other job, and it has been made more complicated over the years to be able to trespass someone into all the process you have to go through and the red tape that you have to cut. So this is an important ordinance, and I think it will definitely help our police department to be able to do their jobs better, which will also help our citizens have more safety and security in their neighborhoods.
And I like that we're given resources too. I mean, so we can get them if they want them more often.
Therefore, I will second that motion.
And we have a motion and a second. And vote. Okay, item 10B. Kelly Cox should be standing there in front of us.
She's coming.
Consideration, discussion, and possible preview of ordinance number 3885, amending Chapter 2, Administration, Article 9. We'll
Yes, sir.
stop there.
Thank you. Good evening again. Appreciate the opportunity. Our current ordinance for employment requirements is pretty restrictive when it comes to employees applicants with a felony or a misdemeanor that may be of moral turpitude. There's been some discussions lately in regards to what does moral turpitude mean. So we have tried to recommend a policy change or an ordinance change that will allow a little bit more leniency in regards to somebody that may have a misdemeanor on their record. So our previous language says the person has not pled guilty to or been convicted of any felony or any misdemeanor involving moral turpitude or which otherwise indicates unfitness for city employment. So we would change that language and keep the felony language in there, and then say that any person that's ever been convicted of a felony in the past 5 years, it could be reviewed by myself. If it makes them unfit for city employment, we would consider that for 5 years, and then if we need to go over the 5 years, we would do that as well. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions of Kelly?
Does this preclude you from making the decision on a misdemeanor, or does it just take it out of the actual language?
it allows me, if somebody has, let me give an example. Somebody has a DUI from 4 years ago, and it's in a position where they don't ever drive. Let's just say in finance, maybe a utility clerk. I could make that consideration if we wanted to.
She said just say.
Yeah,
For
as an
example.
example, hypothetically, that, that person, that DUI
just give
has
you the
no,
discretion.
yes, no no interference with their position, so then we could possibly allow that for them.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure it didn't preclude you from making that decision. It gives you the discretion.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Counselor Kelly brought this to my attention and recommended this to me, and I said I want council to consider this because I agree with what she's recommending.
You confused me for a minute. You said Counselor Kelly. I'm like, really, Counselor Kelly? I was like, oh, Counselor Comic. Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. All right.
I'll,
Questions? Go ahead.
anyone else have a question?
No.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Ten C, consideration, discussion, and possible preview of ordinance number 3888. Jimmy Ott is going to talk to us. Can we ask fishing questions too, or is it strictly?
Sure can. It's
We
been
got
too
to-
hot for them though, but we can talk, I'm always going to talk about fishing. Evening, Vice Mayor, Council, Mr. Spurgeon. Before you tonight is just a preview of an ordinance that we have set up to help strengthen the security of our public warning system, and also helps with any cybersecurity issues that may arise in the future with this. Also with this ordinance going forward, if needed, if we ever have any issues, having the ordinance allows us to ask for technical and investigative resources from our federal partners to help with any issues that we may have with our system. I'll be happy to answer any questions or try to if you have for this preview of this ordinance.
I'm in full support of this, and I think it's needed, and I'm glad we've got something in writing, so we can have something for us, for sure.
I appreciate it.
I'll make a motion to approve it. Yeah.
Is this a preview or?
Oh, it is a
It's just
preview.
preview.
It's a preview.
Yeah, so it's just
So we don't,
preview.
yeah. So he's
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I'm ready to make a motion.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thanks, Jamie.
Okay, ordinance number 11A.
We didn't get the vote on that. We
So-
need the motion
need
second
to
to set
vote
it
on
for
it?
adoption.
A motion to set it for adoption.
I'll second that motion.
So that'll come back next council meeting, correct?
Yes, sir.
11A, ordinances, 251105. Possible adoption of ordinance number 3883. I'll turn it over to Trevor if he'll make any comments.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Ordinance number 3883 for your consideration this evening amends our Life Right ordinance that basically provides for reimbursement for Life Right participants who, through no fault or decision or action of their own, are transported from an emergency that originates from within the corporate fence line of the city of Broken Arrow. This would be done by mutual aid agreement. As we discussed at the preview time, sometimes if all of our ambulances are in service, or sometimes the closest ambulance is a mutual aid ambulance that isn't one of our ambulances, there'll be a separate charge to the participant. And so what this allows is for the city manager to pay up to $1,500 or 40% of the bill for non-insurance holders. The policy justification is we believe it's fair for those who, through no fault of their own, receive a bill because, and they are subscribers to Life Ride, that they be reimbursed. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
I agree with this. It's not their fault that we may be out of ambulances, so, yeah. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, the next item, item 11B, 251120, is the emergency clause for that particular item.
I'll make a motion to accept the emergency clause.
Second.
11AC, 251104.
Excuse me, Counselor Pickle, we didn't get your vote on that one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I guess we're going to take a break now. No, just kidding. 11C, consideration, discussion, and possible adoption of ordinance number 3884, an amendment to Broken Arrow Code of Ordinances Appendix A, zoning ordinance, section 5.7, signs. Go ahead.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Ordinance number 3884 before you for your consideration provides an exception under section 5.7 of the zoning code against the prohibition against new billboards. Essentially, it allows privately owned billboard signs permitted on city-owned property, but they have to be subject to a valid lease agreement that's been approved by City Council. They would also have to have all requirements met that are set forward by the Oklahoma Department of Transportation as well, and also any of the terms that are set in the lease or other resolution adopted by City Council. Happy to answer any questions you may
He
have.
does such a good job of explaining it,
So within this particular ordinance, is there any language or discretion available for Mr. Spurgeon or staff or council to have any input over what's advertised on said billboards?
Certainly, that could be detailed in the lease agreement with the leaseholder.
I think that would be wisdom, because there may be certain things that we, as a city, don't support being, and then it being advertised on our property could come back on us.
We've had that discussion briefly with individuals that are interested, and I do know that any agreement, the city's going to be able to use the board for advertising our activities, but I certainly like that, Counselor, and talk to Charlie Bright and also to Trevor about that.
I'll make a motion for this to be approved, but do I need to change it any with it to include?
It would just be the adoption of ordinance number 3884.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Next item 3 is the emergency clause for that particular item.
Make a motion to pass the emergency clause.
Second.
Counselor Pickle.
Sorry, I hit it.
He's older today. It's his birthday. He's a little slower.
He started slow getting there.
It's that drama thing, I told you.
Okay, let's get back to business now, David. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
11E, 251098. Rocky Hinkle's going to handle this consideration, discussion, and possible adoption of ordinance number 3886.
Good evening again. Ordinance number 3886 is an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance of the City of Broken Arrow, approving BAZ 452-2022, along with PUD 453-2022. PUD 453-2022 and BAZ 452-2022 involve a 21.8 acre parcel located west of the southwest corner of Omaha Street and Elm Avenue. PUD 453-2022 and BAZ 452-2022 were approved by City Council on February 7, 2023, subject to the property being platted. Approximately 29 acre portion of the property was platted in Tulsa County as Ironwood on July 18, 2025. Staff recommends that City Council adopt ordinance number 3886 and approve the subsequent emergency clause.
See, I haven't taken that class to learn how to read all those numbers that fast, so you do a good job.
Thanks. I stayed at a Holiday Inn once.
Okay, this item is up, BAZ 452-2022, ordinance number 3886.
Do we have anyone speak against it?
No, this is just a formal process.
I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance number 3886.
Second?
Move for emergency.
I'll second the emergency.
Curtis slows us down.
It's a red shirt.
Item 11G, consideration, discussion, and possible adoption of ordinance number 3889.
Very similar in nature. Ordinance 3889 is an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance of the City of Broken Arrow, approving BAZ 1984 along with PUD 315. On October 3rd, 2017, BAZ 1984 was a request to change the zoning on the property associated with PUD 315 from R2 to RS3 and was approved by City Council. BAZ 1984 was approved, subject to the property being platted. PUD 315, which contained 68.32 acres, was approved by the Broken Arrow City Council on September 15, 2020, subject to the property being platted. A 38.72 acre portion of the property was platted in Tulsa County as estates at Lynn Lane 2, Blocks 7 through 11 on July 16, 2025. The property is generally located 1/2 mile north of New Orleans and 1/2 mile east of 9th Street. Staff recommends that council adopt ordinance number 3889 and approve the subsequent emergency clause.
Assume no one spoke in opposition of this again?
No.
I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance number 3889.
Second.
And move for emergency.
Counselor Parks, we need your vote on that.
It just now came up, sorry.
Okay.
I was
Thank
watching intently. City manager was a witness.
I'll second the emergency.
Has it come up, is it come up on yours? It didn't come up on mine. Okay.
It's a little slow.
Okay, item number 12, remarks and inquiries by governing body members. That'd be us.
I have a couple of things. I attended the Back to School Bash with the Assembly Church, sponsored by the Broken Arrow Police Department on Saturday. And they had well over 1,000 backpacks, school supplies, haircuts, all the things. It was very well attended. And, you know, I just want to say thank you so much to our community sponsors, because definitely I know the Broken Arrow Police Department wouldn't be able to do that without the community partners. I mean, because the backpacks and school supplies alone were thousands of dollars. And but the police were there in force. They had their police cars and all the things. The kids were loving it. The fire department was there. And I just wanted to thank our partners for that, the Assembly. Also, tomorrow is National Night Out. So for those of you that may be having activities in your neighborhood, we'll be visiting them along with officers and ice cream and firefighters spraying down the kiddos. So hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah. And I do have one thing I would like to point out as well. I don't know if you guys noticed, something that I noticed a long time ago that we didn't have, we now have a city flag adorning our chambers. So I'm honored that we are representing our city in our chambers here.
We got one more to add.
Yep.
Stay tuned.
Discuss it next week.
Yeah.
Good.
I would just like to add that, going back, when it comes to the surveys that the city does need the community input on, it's very important that our citizens do fill those out. Let us know what their thoughts are, because that helps us guide in the decisions we make.
Well, I don't have anything to add, so we'll turn it to the city manager.
Thank you, Vice Mayor and Members of Council. I just have two items I want to mention. Actually, three. I want to follow up on the Councilor Pickles' comments about the survey. Actually, if you get 500 to 700 surveys, somewhere in there, that's going to give you a good standard deviation about what all Broken Arrows would think based on the survey company. So the fact that we're getting over 2,000, in some cases over 4,000, we're getting 4 and 5 times the number of actually responses we need, which that's why Aaron said what he said about the company using Broken Arrow as a model about how surveys can actually help you drive public policy. And so I'm very, very proud of the efforts of that. Also want to say happy birthday to Councilor Pickle today.
Thank you.
I know you're a big deal.
I'm a big deal. Double nickel. 55.
So I do
no,
have.
I don't look it. Same. I look 65. No.
I have two items. So a couple of meetings ago, some residents came and expressed a drainage problem in Indian Springs subdivision down south, and they asked their counselor to come out and talk to them, which he did. And staff went and looked at it and determined there needs to be some improvements made to the area. We've talked to the Drainage Advisory Committee, and I believe that we're going to be having a design and some funds for our team or contractor to come in to actually do that work. And so it's a great example of public policy in action as residents had a concern. The improvements from years ago don't meet our standards today, and I just want to say thank you for the citizens reaching out to their elected officials and allowing staff to take a look at it so we can come up with a solution. I don't know if Kenny wants to add anything from the DAC meeting. Was that discussed on the 25th?
Yes, the DAC did recommend to bring it to the governing body, so it should be at the next council meeting, I believe. Recommendation for some monies on that. So there will be an improvement to at least one of the drainage structures, but we're also going to look more holistically. It's developed, as you just said, over time, and the system can't handle it. So I believe there'll be at least a couple of parts to it. So,
okay. So thank you.
Thank you.
So the other thing is really we start to transition to football season. I'm going to use an analogy. This is just what I'm going to share with you now is like a 2-minute warning, and that relates to the downtown master plan update, which we talked about during the budget process. So sometime in late September, early October, I'm going to be coming to the council to actually approve moving forward with the initiative, the creation of a citizens and business committee to actually start that process. But I want to let the council know is that sometime later this month, we're actually going out to solicit requests for qualifications for the consultant that the funds council approved in the budget for the initiative. And so that's something you're going to be awarding because we want to get that company or companies on board soon enough so they can start having those conversations they need to have to prepare themselves for this initiative. So I'm excited. That was something we talked about, really needs to be done to look at the entire downtown area. And so I just want to let council know we're moving forward with that, and you'll be taking some action probably in September and then some formal action to move forward in October. So, thank you. That's all I have, Vice Mayor.
Okay. I would then like to move that we go into recess for the council meeting, council meeting.
I'll make a motion to go into recess in the council meeting.
Second.
Motion and a second.
Pickle,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Parks.
Yes. And then a motion that we go into Bama. Do we need a motion or just start?
No, sir,
Bama?
you'll just call that to order.
What'd you say, Curtis?
You call it to order. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, I'll call the meeting, the Bama meeting to order.
Pickle,
Here.
Green,
Here.
Ford,
Here?
Parks,
Here?
Wimpy.
Are they all here? Okay, consideration of the consent agenda. Anything we need to move or talk about, roll off?
I'll motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that motion.
No items were removed from the consent agenda, so we don't need to discuss that. Public hearings, appeals, presentations, none. General authority business, none. Remarks and inquiries to governing body members in Bama.
I'll just say thank you to all the departments that provided the monthly reports. Then we had the water supply report, the wastewater discharge report, the solid waste report. You know, a lot of work goes into those and they don't go overlooked. So thank you guys for putting those things together for us so we can be on top of what's going on in our departments.
Okay. Anything else from the governing body? City manager.
Mr. Chair, no, I have nothing regarding Bama this evening.
Okay, there's no executive session.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn Bama.
Second?
And that was short. I won't even get paid for that one. Okay, I'm going to call the Broken Arrow Economic Development Authority to order. Have a roll call vote?
Excuse me. Pickle?
Here.
Green?
Here.
Ford?
Here?
Parks?
Here.
Wimpy?
Consideration of the consent agenda. Anything to be removed?
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
I'll second.
No items were removed from the consent agenda. No public hearings, appeals, presentations, general authority business, none. Remarks and inquiries by governing body members.
I just encourage everybody to keep an eye on our social media and all the happenings here in town. A lot of economic development happening and coming, announcements been made, announcements to be made, groundbreakings to happen. And the city's just growing and going, so keep an eye out on the chamber sites and pay attention to what's going on, because good things are coming your way. No matter where you live in our community, good things are coming.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody else? Remarks and updates by the city manager or staff?
Mr. Chair, I can't follow that, so I have
Okay.
nothing.
Can't make it up. No executive session.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, I'll make a motion then that we go back into city council meeting and call for a 5-minute recess to clear the room for executive session.
Second. I think that's his motion.
Yeah, I think so.
Pickle?
Yes.
Green?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Parks?
Yes.